Hi, it's Florian, and in this video I'm going to talk about 3 skill sets I'm looking for in a software engineer when I'm hiring him. So let's dive right into it. Skill set number 1, the technical skills. So even if people tell you that all the personal stuff is really important, the technical skills are extremely important. If I don't believe you that you have the technical capabilities that make you fit for the job, I will not hire you, no matter how nice you are. So I'm looking for especially your programming skills if you're a software engineer. So what languages do you already know? Usually you should know one object-oriented language and maybe a script language. That's it. I believe that anyone who is good enough in 2 languages can learn all the others also. But you should know these 2 languages. And what else should you know? You should know math. That's one thing I'm looking for extremely, and it's extremely hard to find because the math part of engineering is something people forget first, and they just went through it in university and didn't really know why they needed it. But it's extremely important. Just imagine yourself having to do digital filters or algorithms that do scaling, filtering, maybe FFTs. You need to have a deep understanding of what you do, especially when you do the algorithms calculating the filter coefficients or whatever. You need to have a deep understanding, and most people lack that. So that is something I also look for. It's math and it's programming. And the third thing I look for, the technical skill, is actually if you already know products we have, or the have already worked in the industry, or if you have experience in this field that you apply for. For my company would be digital sensors and measurement amplifiers. So if we have some knowledge there, it's of course helpful, but it is not the prerequisite. The other 2 are more or less. So I will always ask you math questions in an interview, and I will always ask you programming questions in an interview. And you should know them. You don't need to be able to answer everything, but you shouldn't struggle too much. So these are the technical things I look for. The second thing I look for is actually process related. So do you already know Scrum? Have you worked in Scrum teams? Have you maybe even become a Scrum master or product owner? Do you know other processes? So are you in release processes? Do you know what to do to release really a product? Having the documentation ready, having the tests ready. How much do you know about that? How much do you know about quality and quality assurance, either on a unit white box testing level or on a black box testing level, like system testing? How good are your skills about continuous integration? Do you know what that is? Do you do that maybe on your own, or did you do that already? It's also process related. The other thing I look for is do you do Git, for example? Do you know what that is about? Do you know which workflows you could use and maybe which you shouldn't use? So how good are you with all these things like version control in Git, maybe even Subversion, but that's dying at the moment. And of course also how good are you at code reviews? Do you do code reviews? Did you do them before? What would you do if you review a code? What are things you are looking for? What do you wish others to look for in your code? These are things I'm really eager to know, and if you have these capabilities, it's a huge step for you to get hired. So that's the second thing I will ask you. The third thing I will ask you is actually the personal stuff. The question I ask myself is, would I really want to work with you? If you were in my team, would I like that or wouldn't I like that? And it's really hard to describe how I get this impression. So it's also a personal thing of the guy who interviews you, not only about the guy who's interviewed. But that's something I'm really looking into. I also look into if you do some open source stuff. So if in your personal life you do something that has also to do with technology, or if you just do it as a job and say, yeah, I get my money from it, but I don't really like doing it. So that is also something I will definitely look into it. And what I also look into is would you fit in the team? So I know the other guys who are working on the team that you should also be a part of. Do I think it would work, or do I think it wouldn't work? And that is also really important. Not every person, no matter how good he or she is, fits in every team. That's something I also consider, and I guess it's also important. The last thing I'm also eager in knowing is, and I see that often with engineers, especially those that come right off university, how good do you think you are? So basically, the more you know, the less you think that you know. And if you come from university, usually people have a high opinion of themselves. And I look into how high that is. It shouldn't be too high. So you should know what you don't know. And you should be open to acquire the knowledge, so to really learn and get better. If I don't trust that you can do that, I will not hire you. So these are the 3 things I look for when hiring software engineers. I look for the similar things when I hire maybe electrical engineers, or I don't hire mechanical ones, but I would look at the same things. So that's it. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, and see you.